This was the week that was. We saw our former president indicted on criminal charges for the first time in American history. We saw the most important election in 2023, not for a president or a senator or a member of Congress, but for a swing vote for Wisconsin's Supreme Court. Tilt left for the first time in over a decade when Judge Janet Protasiewicz.
I'm going for Judge Janet Protasiewicz.
Judge Janet Protasiewicz.
Janet Protasiewicz for Supreme Court.
Won her seat. We saw the Tennessee House of Representatives go crazy after students protested any lack of gun control, which led to yet another mass killing in Nashville. The Republican-controlled House expelled 2 Democrats in an extreme act of partisan retaliation. Inflation looms as the labor market added 236,000 jobs in March, which in turn means that the Fed will continue to raise interest rates. We saw President Biden blame former President Trump for the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. Who was president when the United States withdrew from Afghanistan? Overseas, we saw Finland join NATO to the deep discontent of Vladimir Putin. Remember, Finland crushed the Soviet advances against them in the winter of 1939, and Finland remained neutral as a salve to keep the Russians at bay. Not anymore. Not after Russia invaded Ukraine. Finland needed to show that it is firmly aligned with Western interests, even as it shares an 800-mile border with Russia. After Turkey gets over its hissy fit over Sweden's refusal to extradite Kurdish separatists to Turkey, Sweden, too, will join NATO later this year. Meanwhile, the Middle East is exploding with renewed tensions. And what else is new? Israel's hard-right government led a raid on the holiest of Islamic shrines, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Turkey's foreign minister calls this unacceptable. And Israel's hard-right government is still reeling over its failed attempt to quash its Supreme Court after protesters effectively shut down the country. And Benjamin Netanyahu probably isn't feeling too good about Iran's new cooperation pact with Saudi Arabia. And here at home, our house is not in order. The Republican-led House of Representatives still has not been able to come up with a budget proposal to present to the president. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy appears to have made many promises that he can't keep. To secure the Speaker's gavel, McCarthy promised that he would pass a budget that would balance the budget within 10 years, and that's nearly impossible and actually ridiculous, given that he has taken out cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Speaker McCarthy's chickens are coming home to roost. Rather than submit a budget, or any budget, he's engaged in a blame game against his own team. He complains that his budget chair, Jody Arrington from Texas, is incompetent, and that his television appearances are unhelpful. And McCarthy complains that he cannot rely on Majority Leader Steve Scalise from Louisiana. Last month, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer asked, "Where is the House Republican plan? How are they going to lift the debt ceiling?" And on this Good Friday, President Biden spends the weekend at Camp David. As he marks this holy day, he may also take some solace from Jesus' parable of the neighbor. And who is my neighbor? Jesus instructs his flocks to show mercy to their fellow man. But here in Washington, the stew of politics, spiced with some schadenfreude, means that Democrats maybe are enjoying the mess that McCarthy has made for himself. From the White House, this is Douglas Christian. And for 5WH, join us every week for our weekly roundtable. And don't forget to check out this video over here that YouTube says you must see. And over here, look at this video about our weekly roundup.